The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
You are now listening to the Allen and DJ Show on 103.5 FM WLSP-LP, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. We're here to talk about self-improvement, lifestyle, and becoming the very best version of yourself.
You're now listening to the Allen and DJ Show.
Yo, 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 Milwaukee, Sun Prairie, and all the surrounding areas. Y'all know what time this is, man. It's time for the Allen and DJ podcast show. Pretty soon, when the TV room get all straight, we're going to be in that TV room too. So we get y'all some really great shows in the TV room as well. So my name is Allen.
And this is your boy DJ.
And that's our producer extraordinaire, they call him.
William J. Smith.
William J. Smith, what's going on?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Nothing much, senior. Hanging in there, man.
Dude said senior.
Nah, Gerald messing with you, man. You know I got to get with him.
Senior. I'm like, dog.
We're like, hold on. No, man, but today, I've been messing up a lot, Dirty. Bambi the Deer be on my case, man, and I'm just sick of it. I keep hearing it left and right. You got to start doing this. You got to start doing it. You don't get enough deer meat like you used to. When you going to do this? And then stuff from right here got to get done. Just nagging and complaining, saying I'm making bad choices, bad decisions, man, and I just don't. Oh, that's it, DJ. Let's talk about that today.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going through it. Because Bambi, he had a stranglehold on me, man. She was tripping, so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about today why bad decision making. Like why you have to stop making bad decisions in so many words.
Okay.
So without further ado, man, let's kick this to them the way that we're accustomed to kicking it to them. So with bullet point number 1, I want to talk about the compound effect.
Okay. Let's like give them a definition, because somebody, you say compound effect, like somebody might not know. Somebody might not know what that really means. You funny out. Nah, but the compound effect is like an idea that the quality of your decisions, small or consistent ones, multiplies over time.
So just like it's like just building like good habits, success over time. And then bad decisions are like compound against you. So making like a single missed deadline, or like financial purchase, or just ignoring the red flags in a relationship can really cost you everything.
Absolutely. But the crazy thing about it too is like, and why it's so important, is because like it shows how like small daily decisions can create those results faster and more sustainable.
So like, and then so like, did you get it to you from the positive side of it? So I'm going to give it to you from the negative side of it. So, however, if you keep repeating the same bad decisions or actions over weeks and months, it could lead to a snowball effect, effect that can go into immediate stress, debt, or irreversible career decisions that can like cause you to feel. Okay, so let's say if you're the senior director of a company, you might get depromoted because you're missing deadlines, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And that's the compound effect of what things can go right for you. You know what I'm saying? Where like if you do like little tasks and you work harder than everyone else, you're willing to do the extra work, your work won't go unnoticed.
Absolutely. And then like with compound effect, like it's like small, consistent decisions, and then you pile them up and pile them up and pile them up. And now all of a sudden later on, it turns into quality after a while.
So, just like for an example, like with me being in the gym and everything, I've been told losing a little weight and everything, but that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's the little smaller things that I'm doing. Like, whether like you make the conscious decision to say, hey, I'm gonna start doing a little bit more fasting, or I'm gonna cut out sugar out of my diet. And let me continue to keep doing what I don't want to do each and every day, and that's getting up, getting to it. and then you working hard on your craft now. Now you working hard on your goals, your dreams, and then you working a little harder at work. You stacking up extra money. The little things are gonna start to add up, and before you know it, man, you gonna be cold.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, try to mirror that and keep that in your minds. The compound effect. Bullet point number 2. Let's talk about the fantasy versus the reality trap. Whoo! Now this gonna get good right here, DJ.
Oh yeah.
Come
This
on,
is
man.
good.
Talk to him.
Nah, basically like what the fantasy and like versus reality trap is basically like it highlights how our mental images of ideal outcomes can distort our choices, leading to unrealistic expectations, poor planning, and also disappointment.
Man, very disappointment. Like some people think, oh, girl, like I met him and he got $2 million. Girl, like I'm rich. You're living in a fantasy instead of living in reality. Because if he could leave today, that money is his or that money is hers. We ain't got none of that. It's not yours. No, I ain't saying don't find nobody that don't have anything. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you got to bring something of value to the relationship. But come on, like we make a lot of reality choices than living in. I mean, a lot of fantasy choices than more so living in reality.
Absolutely. But like it also turns into like emotional bias, meaning like you choose options that feel good but don't align with your goals.
So like many people make poor decisions, right? Because of full clarity gaps, which compounding flaws, messy reality, idolizing. We'll talk about greener grass fantasies, like focusing on perceived perfection of new city job relationships while ignoring the interest function of any major changes that brings to leading, inconsistent, and dysfunction.
Absolutely.
So you got to be careful with stuff like that. You know, like you can say, yeah, man, I'm going to LAD and I'm going to be this. I'm going to be a big old star. And then, man, I'm going to meet Denzel. I'm going to meet this. Bro, it's going down. And then you get out there and reality hits. It's expensive out there. You're getting a lot of rejections left to right. Now you just got hit with the reality trap.
Absolutely. Like a lot of people do this because they try to go into this term called escapism. And escapism is basically like when you rely on fantasy and you avoid confrontation of the real problems.
Yeah. And which is going to lead me to the next bullet point, because that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
So that could turn into what? Emotional hijacking.
Yep.
So, but why does this turn into emotional hijacking when it comes to why you need to make better decisions?
Because like it reveals a core limitation of the human brain, which is like our emotional state sometimes override rational thinking.
So when you are under stress and tired, sometimes you emotionally compromised. Like the brain prioritize like what's immediate relief over long-term wisdom. So some people want that instant, you know what I'm saying, instead of trying to figure the problem out and to be like, hey, like I'm not gonna go through this again, and learn from the problem as well. So logical part of the brain is the reticular cortex, which gets bypassed by emotional centers called amygdala, which leads to impulsive texting, destructive habits and behaviors.
And what Al just explained is like that actually explains like why people actually make those irrational decisions.
Yeah.
In the heat of the moment. So you'd be like, if somebody made a decision and they made it like real quick and they didn't even have to think about it, that's why. It's because of the waves of the brain.
That's true, man. You know, like people, and I remember a long time ago, like, man, you know, we did a study on that. And to show you how the way like the brain thinks and the pattern and the way it works and everything. And I found that so interesting because it's true. It shows like when you get like when you get excited, how and it looked like little dots and chemicals. It was just rushing all over the place. And then it shows like how a lot of them were just disappearing because of stress and dysfunction and all that. So, you know, like that's that's good to keep that in mind, because like when you living in the fantasy, you just really just emotionally hijacking yourself.
Absolutely.
And bullet point 4, past survival mechanisms, or I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. Go, a smart guy, just give it to me dirty.
Mechanisms.
A mechanism. There we go. So past survival mechanisms.
Yep.
So DJ, how does this tie into why people need to make better decisions in life?
What this provides is basically like context and reduce uncertainty, and it helps you act quickly. So like your past can help you build a cognitive framework, which meaning like it'll help you speed up your decisions, allowing you to reuse past situations or past solutions, I should say.
And I like that you said that, bro, because that's true. You know, like sometimes bad decisions can stem from, let's say, from a deeper core beliefs that comes from like early stages in life and experiences that you might have went through as a kid, maybe past traumas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And also, it's the nervous system that need to learn how to seek familiarity over stability. Mm-hmm. And you might unconsciously choose situations that confirm existing negative beliefs or results of self-sabotaging, such as staying and failing relationships. So a lot of people, and there's a lot of people going through this. Some people are afraid to be alone. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to call out and just say what it is. People are afraid to be alone. So they go to what's familiar to them. They go to what they think is the safe haven, which is, I know this person dogs me out and treat me wrong and I'm not happy, but this is where I'm most comfortable at, because I don't know how to like learn how to go with the new or learn how to accept the new, because this is where I'm most comfortable at. And 8 times out of 10, you know, you're gonna keep making the same bad decisions over and over and over again, and you're gonna keep finding yourself in the same situations.
And also, Al, with this bullet point, like it's also because of how the brain works, like the triggers by like certain part of your brain keep popping up, and when them triggers pop up, then all of a sudden, then that's when you get the reactions and stuff like that. And then like it's also by like what hormone is being released at that particular time too,
which could create anxiety.
Yep.
It could create social anxiety, and that can also lead into panic attacks.
Absolutely.
Because of the fear, the nervous system is and it's sending shockwaves to the brain, and you study making bad decisions, and you know it's not good for you. And then when you make these bad decisions, now you hyperventilating, you mad, you stressed, and then it just take you down a whole rabbit hole. And you know you got to watch out for stuff like that. That could lead into what I'm going to talk about next, bullet point 5, decision fatigue.
Okay.
So when people make bad decisions, then it just gets to the point you're just tired, DJ.
Yeah.
So let's talk about decision fatigue for a minute.
Okay. Decision fatigue basically like it impairs like the ability to make decisions and control behaviors after making many of those decisions in a row. But like if you don't recharge yourself, or you don't give yourself time to like have a mental break, like what happens is like it could lead to like making impulsive choices, or you end up avoiding situations that you need to handle, or you'll settle for whatever seems easy.
Which is like too many people make those type of choices of the day. Physical depletes your mental resources because you're doing too much physical work, and it's straining you, right? Mm-hmm. And then that could lead to decision paralyzed. You know what I'm saying? Because now like you're stuck in limbo. You're stuck on the same stuff. Where you can either avoid a critical choice altogether, or like the resourceful path that could lead to resistance, which can rarely begin long-term options, which can be, to me, I feel like when you keep trying to avoid what needs to be done, but you want to go to the familiarity, you start making long-term bad decisions.
Absolutely.
Where you start meeting people who's like, man, every time I talk to you, man, you always into something, or man, you know, like, bro, like you always messing up, and it can hurt you in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? Because like that could lead into career, finances, relationship, health, and daily habits. You can just
Absolutely.
get hacked.
Absolutely. But like what decision fatigue also does is like it makes you feel tired without physical effort, and like you struggle with complex thinking, and then it also can lead to like procrastination and being passive.
So like that's what I tell people, like, which is like this could kind of somewhat be entitled into a bullet point, but like if you really want to put it that way, like stop repeating negative patterns.
Yeah.
You know, like once again, like your life is where it's at right now because you're repeating the same negative patterns. It's like you got stuff on repeat, and you know you're going back into the familiarity of this is what I know. So if you ever gonna want to try to come up in life, try to get successful, try to be healthy or anything like that, you have to change your perspective, because when you change your perspective, miracles happen. But if you stuck into your same type of belief, and being one track minded, you know what, bro, I don't care. Like, it's got to go like this, whatever, bro. Or, or girl, whatever, girl. Like, I don't care, whatever. Like, you're never going to get anywhere.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the intermediate toll, DJ.
Okay.
And up on the intermediate toll, let's talk about the next bullet point, opportunity cost.
Ooh.
Yeah, so break that down for us, man.
Okay. Like basically like the opportunity cost is the value of the alternative when making a decision. Basically like it represents the benefits that you could gain from choosing the alternative.
So like every bad decision, it could take time, money, energy away from the pursuits that could actually improve your life. So when I say, man, stack your money up, and like I tell people this, whether if it's friends, family, whatever, bro, man, get your bread up. Bro, like if you put so many amount of dollars up for a rainy day, then you can see yourself having something. They take that money and invest.
Absolutely.
And, you know, they keep making the bad decisions. But if they keep giving it to family or keep giving it to friends that don't be deserving of your resources, and all they're doing is doing what? It's draining your resources. Then you sit back, you wondering why, man, I'm not having nothing. Because you're either paying for friends, or you're paying for people time, or you're paying for things that you shouldn't be paying for, and it's draining your resources, man.
Absolutely. But what you want to do, like when it comes to opportunity costs, is basically evaluate the benefits of each decision that you make before you make that particular decision, and look at all the solutions that could come from it, and look at all the failures that could come from that particular decision. Like, what would happen if I made this decision? Like, would I fail or would I succeed? Or does the failure outweigh the success?
That's true. Which was even tied to bullet point 7, relationship decay.
Yep.
Because now you're making poor choices based on the involvement of selfishness, dishonesty, let's say, or like financial strain that could drive friends and damage your support system. So you can push people away with, you know what I'm saying, like just making bad decisions. Like bad decisions as far as like lying or being selfish is all about you and not nobody else. And that can make a person feel like, man, you know what? Like, why should I be a support system? Like he or she feel like she got it all figured out. And that's how relationship decay. Then you start finding yourself more and more and more. You're looking around, you're by yourself.
Absolutely. Like it basically like alters the quality of the information, support, and the influence we draw from other people.
Yeah. Like, that's what I say, you know, like, don't damage your support system. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't overutilize all your resources.
Absolutely.
Because then that could lead it to what in the next bullet point? Wasted resources.
That's crazy.
And wasted resources is like impulsive or poor calculated moves that drains the capital and time and the mental brand worth that cannot be easily recovered. Because when you're making poor calculated decisions, that's like if I gave you $5 million and I said, okay, I want to invest into 1/3 of a baseball team, and I'm giving you the resources to do it, but you're draining the resources by doing things that we shouldn't be doing.
Absolutely. And
which is like, it could be a relationship that now is strained between us that it's not going to be easy to recover if we ever even speak again.
With wasted resources, like what you're doing is like you're recognizing and avoiding waste, but that's crucial because like it ensures that you are using your limited resources to achieve like the highest possible return. So basically like you're getting rid of like what you don't need and you're replacing it with something that you do need, because like it's kind of like reading a book. Like if you read the whole book, you don't need every single piece of information from the book. You might take bits and pieces and translate it in your mind and then utilize it in the world.
There you go. And also, you know, to me, it could turn into like psychological traps now, because we're going to get into this one when we talk about decision and fatigue overload. So now you can overload yourself with things.
Yep.
So DJ, what does a decision fatigue overload means to you?
Basically, like what you're doing is you taking on more than you can handle, and that can make you tired, leading to bad decisions.
There you go. Like consistently being forced to choose and can deplete your mental capacity, like resources leading to breakdowns and self-regulation that can tendency to make more further symbolical decisions. Like you just keep making dumb decisions. And you ever been around people that be like, when you gonna learn? When are you gonna learn? Like, bro, you gotta stop going back to that relationship or sweetheart. That dude dogging you, and you know it's wrong, and you know emotionally you feel drained, but you keep going back because why? You keep making bad decisions, which leads into decision fatigue overload. You're doing more of the load than what you should be doing.
Absolutely.
And that could just, you know, it just take you down a whole rabbit hole, which could lead into emotional reactivity, which is intense, unprocessed emotions rather than logical assessments often drive, and also reactive short-term decisions that can hurt long-term interests.
Absolutely. But what this basically does is it drives motivation, perception, and action. But like emotions provide like the urgency, direction, and energy, but the emotional reaction just pushes it for you to act on it.
Most definitely. And you know, like that's why I tell people, like, when you do something, do it because you want to do it. Don't
Absolutely.
do stuff based off of emotion.
Absolutely.
You know, and men think logical, women think off emotion. Not that women don't think logical sometimes, but it's kind of like, you ever know when you got into it with your girlfriend and you be like, bro, give her time, you gotta let her calm down, because she's emotional right now. She's emotional by design. So when she calms down, does she get into a more logical mind state, and then she's able to talk. That's why not all women, but most women are bad with finances, shopping, online shopping, emotional spending. Some people emotionally eat. Not that men are not bad with finances neither, because you got some men out here that are bad with finances. But we're more logical. Like we're more like, baby, look, we need to do this, build this up. We can have something. That's why the man has always bred it. Even in the good book, the Bible even says the man should be the leader. So, you know, not that he's leading a woman and telling her what to do or nothing like that, but the woman only going to follow your lead if you're a strong leader. And you have to have a structured program, which is like, this, baby, look, this is how we do things, and we going to have something.
Absolutely.
And then I don't know everything, so it might be some things that, you know what I'm saying, that like I'm learning from you along the way. Which is now we're going to mirror that with the compounding effect once again, which is self-sabotaging cycles.
Okay. Basically with self-sabotaging cycles, like it reveals like how unconscious patterns and emotional defenses can distort like choices. Meaning like what you usually do is like you'll insert like some type of like roadblock to keep you from making decisions or keep you from doing what you need to do, but you'll make the decisions that make you comfortable. So you'll make those decisions, but you won't make the other ones that are difficult.
So unconscious comfort, like you said, DJ, to me, I like to compare that with pain of learning beliefs that the future is like unreliable, or it could lead into repetition, compulsion, which is where unconsciously repeating destructive emotion scripts that can reach familiar conclusions because you're used to already thinking negative. That's why I say you are what you think. So you just constantly even when things going right, you already looking for the wrong.
Yep.
So let's say, dang, bro, that's what's up, man. You got promoted. Man, bro, you got a nice house and everything. Yeah. But, man, I don't even got no fence around it, though, dog. Hey, bro, that's what I'm talking about when you self-sabotaging or, yeah, I hope it work out. Because I know if I don't do this, you're going to end up leaving me anyway. And, dude, chill.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, like, you know, you self-sabotaging the relationship. But let's get into the Alan and DJ's final thought.
Okay.
So, DJ, what's your final thought when it comes to why people must make better decisions?
Like, when it comes down to making better decisions, like, just, like, first, look at all the variables and, like, think about, like, all the scenarios that can happen when you make this particular decision, like, the cause and effect of each decision, the good and the bad of each decision. Make that decision, and no matter what the decision is, you have to live with it.
Like, and I can agree with you more, DJ. I feel like bad decisions sometimes can harden negative beliefs about yourself, about your situation, the status that you're in. Like, it can make you more like collect evidence of like reinforcing failures, so on and so forth. The breakdown of recent decisions that can make you have second guessing. You know what I'm saying, fears as far as like, you know, you second guessing everything you do. But when it start getting to that, I value to apply stress management tools that can help you remake better decision making and habits, and identify psychological bases that might be hindering you. And if all that fails, like, go try to talk to a family member or therapist that can further give you the resources that you need. And once you did that, you just became the very best version of yourself. Now, this is the Alan and DJ Show. You can find the Alan and DJ Show at gmail.com if you want us to talk about anything that's pertaining to what you have going on, or things that you thought that could be relatable to the world. You can find the Alan and DJ Show on YouTube. You can also find us on our fan page at the Alan and DJ Show on Facebook. You can also find my Instagram, Alan Hutchinson, on Instagram and Facebook, and our producer extraordinaire, William J. Smith, on Instagram and Facebook. And don't hesitate to say, hey, you know what? I got to start changing things around today. Because if you feel like you're stuck in life, you are at where you at because of your decision making. So let's make better decisions and let's make better choices. And then when we do that, we stay well, we stay healthy.
Peace.
You already know.